What's up, all you lovely learners out there in learning land? Tyler from Tenthumbspro.com coming at you with another ukulele tutorial like we do every single Wednesday and Saturday. Today we're going to mix it up and get a little jazzy by soloing over a 2-5-1, a jazz progression in the key of A. We'll look at the progression so you know how to play it so you can jam this with a friend, but then we're going to do a solo and we're going to talk about nailing chord tones so your jazz solo sounds super professional like you're Miles Davis on the ukulele. Gypsy jazz, you like it swingy? Miles Davis, Django, who is your favorite jazz musician of all time? Leave a comment in the comment section. Printable tabs, backing track by becoming a Patreon, links up here in the notes. You'll also see links to this specific tab pinned in the first comment of the comment section. Subscribe, ring the bell, think about becoming a Patreon. After you do that stuff, grab your ukulele, brain and attention span, follow me on in, and let's get jazzy. So to make this happen, what you need to do is you need to know the chords of the progression and the scale. If you know the chords and the scale, you can do this. And if you have a friend, one of you can do the chords, the other the scale, and you can switch back and forth. So let's learn the chord progression first. It is a 2-5-1 in the key of A. The 2 chord is B minor, the 5 chord is E, and the 1 chord is A. But in jazz, we extend these to the 7s. So we get a B minor 7, E 7, and an A major 7. Now, you can use other shapes. For example, you could use this E7 shape here, barring the 4th fret with your middle finger on the 5th fret. We also have a great A major 7 shape here that goes 2, 4, 4, 4, which is a bar on a bar. It's kind of funny to say, the bar on a bar. And the progression goes 1 measure of the 2, 1 measure of the 5, and 2 measures of the 1. Okay, so now that we have the chords, let's look at a rhythm. I am going to give it lots of swing, meaning it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, like electro music. It's got some swing like that. And we're going to go down, 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 up, down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Now, if you're not a fan of those ringing out chords, you can use the bar chords to eliminate them. Ultimately, that's up to you. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the scale. So that would be the foundation, and that is what we're going to solo over. Now, the scale we're going to use is the A major scale, and we're going to be using 2 shapes. Shape 1 looks like this. Now, I have a high G here. I'm going to play it over a high G. If you have a low G, I would use the G string. If you have a high G like me, I wouldn't use the high G necessarily, but I want to show you where the notes are in case you have a low G or in case you want to use a high G. Ultimately, it's up to you because you are in key. So you have 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4. So we have a G sharp. That's one of our sharps in there. And we also have a C sharp. That's another sharp we have in there. And we also have the F sharp, another sharp in there. Your root being the 2nd fret of the G string or the open A. So your next shape will be 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. Now, I've taught the major scale a little bit, but not as extensively as the pentatonic. If you want me to do a video on some exercises to master the scale, leave a comment below. And if you want to see all 5 shapes of the major scale, leave a comment below, and I can do those videos too. So now you have the chord progression and the scale. So essentially, one person plays the chord progression, and the other uses the scale to create melody. But there's a way that we can make that particular scale stick to the chords a little more, and that's by resolving our ideas on chord tones. So that's a lot of fancy talk. What am I saying? I'm saying when you resolve, you play the last note of your lick on the chord you're going to. And what you want to do is you want to land on a note that's both in the scale and in the chord. So let's look at the very first change from our B minor to our E7 to see what I'm talking about. The lick looks like this. One, two, 2, 5, 4. And I'm going from a B minor to an E7. And you'll notice the note that I land on is the 4th fret of the E, which is a G sharp note, which is in our E7 chord. So this 4th fret here is both in the scale and in the chord. No matter where I make the E7, it's going to have a G sharp note. Okay, so all the shapes across the entire fretboard, if you're playing an E7, will have a G sharp note in it. So that's what's referred to as a chord tone. And what we've done is we've used our scale and we've landed in a note that's in both the scale and in the chord, right on the 1. Now, I'm illustrating this by playing these notes on the 1 or the first beat to keep it a little easier for you as a learner timing-wise. But you don't have to resolve your lick, meaning finish your lick on the first beat. This would sound great if I finished on the 3rd beat or the 2nd beat. So as long as you stop over that chord and land on a chord tone, it doesn't matter exactly if it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd beat, off beat, on beat. That doesn't really matter. The next change from our E7 to our A minor, or our A major 7, excuse me, the lick is going to go 2, 4, 0, 2, 4. This is a C sharp note. If you make an A major 7, we can see very clearly we have a C sharp note. In fact, the C sharp is the major 3rd interval of the A major 7. The A major 7 is composed of a root, a major 3rd, a 5th, and a 7th interval. So it's also important that you know those intervals because that helps you with these ideas. So the lick, doot, 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 nice and easy, right? And because we stay on the A major 7, we're going to repeat the lick, creating a motif. Now there, if I wanted to, I could do an entirely different lick, or I can repeat it. I have the freedom to really do whatever I want, as long as I'm resolving on these chord tones. So let's play through the first 4 measures together, nice and slow, and I'm going to count it out loud. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're doing this, what I would encourage you to do is write out all the notes in the chord, and then on the fretboard, look to see where those notes are and where they overlap with the scale. Because each note in the chord is going to also be in the scale. Every single chord every single note in the chord is going to be in the scale, all 4 notes. So you're just kind of looking at them and making them landing places, kind of like you're painting by the lines. We bring up the next 4 measures and we're repeating this process. Let's look specifically at the notes where we're going to land. On the E7, we're landing on the 5th fret. This is a D note. The E7 is composed of an E note, your root. Then your major 3rd is the G sharp. Your 5th interval is the B. And your flat seventh, that's the difference between an E7 and an E major 7. Your flat seventh is the D note. So we're landing on our flat seventh interval for this riff. And over the A, we're going to land on the A note, our root note. So the first section, we start on the second beat this time. 1, 2, and 3. Oops. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Just walking through the scale, 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4, 5. Now, the next riff, going from the E7 to the A major 7, I tried to stay with a similar motif, meaning a similar place in the scale. So we went 2, 4, but this time I'm going to the 4th fret of the A after that. And I'm going to use my same finger by rolling it over like this. This is a good technique to have when you're learning lead play. And then I'll finish with the open A. So we get, oops, we get. And then we repeat that over the A major 7. So from the top with these, we get 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. 2, 3, and 4, and 1. 2, 3, and 4, and 1. 2. All right, let's bring up the next 4 measures. For the first riff, from the B minor 7 to the E7, I'm outlining the B minor 7 here. This one is more intentional to try to bring the personality of the B minor 7 out a little bit, which overall in the arrangement has been ignored a little bit. So we're doing all chord tones, 2, 2, 2, which is known as an arpeggio. And I come down and grab the 4th fret, only to go right back to the 2nd fret of the A. 2 and 3 and 4. The 2nd fret is the B note, which is the 5th interval of our E7. And then I jump up to the 5th fret here and I go 5, 4, 2, 5, 4. We're landing on a G sharp here, and a G sharp is what makes an A major 7, as the G sharp note is the 7th interval. So that's really the jazziest tone of the chord. And when you land on that, you're really emphasizing that this is a jazz solo. So these 4 measures, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. All right, last 4 measures. We're going to kick it off, and we're going to hit a lot of those chord tones again on our B minor 7, but we're going to go 2, 2, then to the 1st fret of the C string, 2nd fret, and then we're going to play the open E. E being the root note of our E7 chord, we're landing on the root note. So we get 2 and 3 and 4. I really like that lick. And then we're staying with the motif, only meaning kind of the same vibe, but we reverse the lick and we go 2, 1, 2, 2, and we resolve on the E again. This time, though, the E for the A major 7 is the 5th interval, which is really interesting. Same key, different chords, we're resolving on them, but you get 2 very different sounding resolutions. And then we're going to repeat that one, but this is the final little wrinkle in this piece. This time, we're going to resolve on the A, finishing our solo. So these ones from the top, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. And then we're finished. Now, we did 16 bars very, very intentionally because 16 bars is the common length for a verse. You will see 8, you will see sometimes 20 or 12, but 16 is by far and away the largest or the most common length for a verse in any genre of music, in pop, in rock, in rap. You'll even hear people in rap say, hey, give me 16 bars. And what they're referring to is freestyling a complete verse. So that's why we did 16 here. That was very intentional. So let's go ahead and I'm going to count through the solo for us, just out loud, nice and easy. And then we're going to play it one time with some drums and some stuff with no counting. Okay, so here we go from the top. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 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 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Game over. I messed up the counting there. I said like 1, 1, 2, 3. I messed up some counting there a little bit on that open bar. Sorry about that. But that is how it. Feel confident with that. Play that, okay? And then we're gonna go ahead and do it all now with some drums and some little more action. So in conclusion, that is a 2-5-1. We used Roman numerals, meaning you can do a 2-5-1 in any key. All you have to do is look up the 2 chord, the 5 chord, and the 1 chord. G, the key of G. What's a 2? The second is an A minor. The 5 is a D7, and the 1 is a G7. So we would get 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 Then we would just plug in the G major scale. And we would look for chord tones to resolve our licks over the chords. Now, sometimes a lick will play right from the B minor 7, go all the way through the E minor or the E7 and all the way to the A major 7. That's fine. If the lick is longer, you're still just thinking to resolve it over that last A major 7. What else? You can resolve on notes that aren't chord tones. So if we have an A major 7, and we resolve on the B note, which is in the scale, it would make our chord an A major 9. So these are chord extensions. It doesn't work for every single note in the scale, but you can play around with certain notes that aren't in your chord to make bigger chords that are a little more jazzy, all right? The E7, the same thing. If I want to, I could resolve on an F sharp, making this an E9. But I couldn't resolve, for example, on the D sharp because it's not in the scale and it's not in the key, and it would sound terrible over the chord. So that's something to keep in mind as you get more advanced with it. But I would start with getting this solo verbatim, then exploring 2-5-1s in other keys, and then learning the scale, and then looking for chord tones to resolve your ideas. And there you have it, folks. Rock and roll. Your first jazz solo. Sounds great. Good job. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. Now you got it. That is how you solo over a Jazz 251 and how specifically you nail those chord tones to make your solo and your harmony stick together and sound more professional and intentional. That is the name of the game. Until next time, rock and roll. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep it jazzy, folks. Take care.